What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Pros live show. It is Thursday, October 3rd, and we have got a good one lined up for you because there is some data on chain right now that matches historical bottom places in the market. Does that mean for 100% certainty that Bitcoin's bottom and crypto bottoms are in? Well, we'll address that in the show. You do not want to go anywhere. We also have some news to cover both on the front here in the United States of what the economy is looking like and tensions continuing to pile up with dramatic effects over in the Middle East as well. Do not go anywhere. We're going to cover a lot of ground today. So make sure right now, let's smash that like button. I'm feeling it. I feel 600 likes coming today. I feel like we're going to give somebody $50 today, but I need you to smash that like if you do enjoy this episode. Also hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. But first, we got to roll the intro. Mr. T. Shroom, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing this morning?
Better than I deserve, Tim.
Well,
better
this
than
afternoon, too. How are you doing this afternoon? I'm glad your morning was good.
Oh, it's totally different. Totally different. But I've got a different hat on today. I've got my Durango to Silverton hat. Got this on my honeymoon. Ooh. This is a really cool train. I think trains are cool. Let me know in the chat. Do you have any idea about the Durango to Silverton rail?
Brody thinks trains are cool, and if Brody thinks trains are cool, that's about it for me. That's all I need. Trains are pretty cool. You know what I think is cool, T-Shroom? I'm doing good. Had a very productive day today.
Good.
Shot a lot of content. Was able to pay attention to charts. I'm really excited about the chart section today. Got a lot of big things we're looking at. We're going to cover a couple things here I have planned. XRP, we're going to talk about it. Obviously, XRP also big news right now. Some of you don't really care whatsoever, but we got to talk about it. SEC and Gary Gensler refusing to quit their all-out attack on XRP. But we're going to take a look at SUI as well. We have been looking, even though SUI's been on the hot trend here for the last couple of weeks, we have been looking for some form of a reversal, and that could be in play at the moment. Stacks also with a big gain to the upside here today. We're going to take a look at Stacks. And if we have time, T-Shroom, we're going to have to kind of play this show by ear because there's a lot of news we got to get through.
There is.
But I would love to jump into a little bit of the stock world, but keep it kind of close to where we are with crypto and taking a look at CleanSpark and NVIDIA. We also might take a look at the oil charts if time permits. But that's what we have. We've got a full slate of show material. T-Shroom, let's go ahead and jump into my screen. Let's take a look at what's happening right now with our different coins. A little mixed bag right now. You can see some big red bubbles, some big green bubbles. Ultimately, the biggest ones kind of popping off here. FTM, Beam, XRP, and Athena. All down pretty significantly today, but our big gainers, Aptos, Stacks, and XEC. We got our mixed bag. That's why we're going to take a look at Stacks today. We did take a look at Aptos yesterday, covered that news. If you want to hear more about it, go check out yesterday's episode after this show is over. You do not want to miss out what's happening there. Aptos looks like a hot commodity coming in. But with that said, let's go ahead and jump into our charts. I told you a lot to unpack here. Bitcoin continuing to hold that $60,000 mark that we have talked about in abundance here on our channel. But notice another chart that involves Bitcoin making some moves here over the last couple of days. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. Did you think it was over? Did you think we dropped here below 58%? The Bitcoin dominance was going down and it was alt season? Well, if you did, I'm sorry, it wasn't. We were trying to warn you, even if Bitcoin dominance falls, that doesn't mean the market is quite ready for alt season. I still am holding to my prediction of many years now, right? This is the epitome of not being a coattail, sticking to my guns. I have called for a 60% dominance on Bitcoin since early 2023. And I'm still calling for it right now. It does look like the charts are continuing to that direction. We'll talk more about that, though, in maybe a future episode. Let's go back over to Bitcoin and address what's happening here. As I said, we've bounced again for now 3 days. We've been bouncing off this $60,000 mark. Some things that I want people to be aware of. We're going to jump all the way down to the 1 hour chart to address what could be happening. The bad side of this, the thing that makes people say potentially this could break to the downside, is we have been underneath this red resistance level since the peak back when we called that peak at 66,000 back here on the 29th. You can see we have set consecutive lower highs in our price action. The bulls just cannot get above it, and they keep getting weaker with every single punch. Now, there's going to be some people that take a look at the flat level of 60,100 or so and say, this is what we call a descending triangle. If you don't know what a descending triangle is, it is where your rallies or your tops, resistance levels keep getting lower and lower, but the support line stays exact same. It's the bottom flash. If this does play out as a descending triangle, I'm giving a little bit of a case for the bears here, everybody. This would see the price of Bitcoin drop down to / a little below that $57,000 mark that we have been tracking as the next major level of support for Bitcoin. Am I saying that that's what I think is going to happen? Not necessarily, but I want to make sure people are aware of the bearish scenario here. If we open and close, I'm going to say a 4-hour candle. Even though I'm looking at the 1-hour chart, it's the 4-hour for me. If you see a candle open and close below this purple line sitting here at 60,100, then I do believe there's a very good chance 57, possibly even down below, gets tapped by Bitcoin in the next couple of days or next week or two. But that's not necessarily what I think is going to happen, because there's also a bullish perspective that we must address. Even though this purple line, we've bounced in that area several times, you're going to see the wicks have actually continued to get lower and lower. And when you draw a trend line connecting those wicks, it's a perfect support trend line that is falling. Well, this changes a lot, because when you have a descending level of resistance and a flat level of support, that's a bearish formation called a descending triangle. They've chosen one particular price that they keep bouncing price up. But with this consecutive falling trend line, this is actually forming what we would call a falling wedge pattern. These traditionally break to the upside. So we do have a little bit of a mixed bag at the moment when it comes to Bitcoin's price. But if we make a break above this red line, the confirmation we're kind of looking for would be to make a move all the way back up above 63,000, up towards 63.87. But that would only be the first move. Same thing like I just talked about in the 4-hour chart. If we're going to be bearish here, what I need to see on the 4-hour chart is a open and close on the 4-hour candles below the $60,100 mark. On the other hand, though, if we can get a 4-hour candle to open and close above this red line, and you match that with a potential buy signal on the 4-hour Luxalgo oscillator, which, even though it's not showing it's here yet, I do think it's very, very close. Now, all of a sudden, we're not just talking about a move up here just to peak out back at 63,900. We are talking about a higher low being put in on a bullish trend and a price action of above $70,000 coming more than likely before the end of October. So we are sitting in a very interesting spot right now on Bitcoin, where a certain move with confirmation could spell doom for Bitcoin to lower lows. But if the bulls can mount up support right here, and we're going to talk about that in the news section, if they can mount up support and start to make a run and break above this red trend line, then we very well could be seeing a 7 followed by a lot of zeros in the next couple of days. That's what we're looking at right now on Bitcoin. Nice. We'll come back to this when we, of course, go into the news section. Let's take a look at some of those coins, though, the other ones I wanted to address today. Let's start off with good old XRP. Of course, XRP has been a very, very hot topic. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I even think in our community, Crux, I'd be interested if you can put a poll in there of where our community sits at the moment. Are you still in on XRP? Do you still believe XRP has a pump left in it? Or are you thinking it's going to zero? Crux, if you can make that poll, I'm interested where we sit. We had a massive dump over the last couple of hours, or last couple of days after breaking out. Let's kind of back up here. After breaking out above a trend line that we have not been above since all the way back here in April of 2021, we are now, it was a fake out, we're back down below. This is what I'm talking about. Earlier, you guys heard me talk about the importance of, let's get rid of this red line real quick, the importance of not just breaking above trend lines or below trend lines, the importance of opening and closing candles above them. You can see here, if you were to go back on the daily chart, September 29th, this white candle right here, we were able, for the first time in over 3.5 years, Wow, we're kind of pushing up towards 4 years, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, for the first time in 4 years, we closed a candle above this red line. That's a bullish take right there, right? That's the first step to being in the right direction. But the very next day, even though we opened above the red line up here at 64 cents, we ended up closing back down below the red line at 61 cents. Confirmation of a buy signal did not come for XRP. Now we find ourselves slicing through what has been a major level of both resistance and support here at 56 cents, back down to lows we just had earlier on in September. Now, I do think that XRP probably is getting to levels where it wants to probably reverse. In fact, I bet you if we start to take a look down here at lower time frames, sure enough, here on the 4-hour chart, the RSI is massively oversold at the moment, telling us we are 90% oversold at the moment. The MACD is curving back to the upside for the first time since way back here on September 27th here on the 4-hour chart. But even better, we're not there yet, so let's not necessarily go around going crazy about a long position, but XRP is getting very dangerously close to a buy signal. We have our green reversal right there. You guys know we love it. We have a major oversold green dot flashing that the momentum is moving back to the upside, and then the money flow. It's sideways at the moment, but if it starts to go to the upside, if this bright red portion, the excessive sellers, leave and it starts to go to the upside, this would be our great buy signal here on the 4-hour chart. Let's not get overexcited. This only implies that XRP should make its way back up roughly into this camp back towards 60 cents. But it would be the first start, the leg start of actually confirming a break above this red line and a bigger push in XRP. However, again, we're covering this in the news section. We might have to wait just a little bit longer for a big break on XRP because Gary Gensler hates it. That's simple it is there. A lot of you know the headline, but we're going to save that for the news section. Let's take a look at a coin that has been extremely bullish here over the last couple of weeks, but we told you yesterday, or actually we told you the last 2 days, I think, that it should have some form of a correction. The coin I am talking about is SUI. Go ahead and go back to my screen here, T-Shroom. After a kind of a fake out yesterday, we told you about the last couple of days on SUI, giving us kind of some indecision / reversal candles. They had a nice close to yesterday where we broke up here towards 186. And in fact, today, I think early this morning, we made a push and kissed $2 right on the lips. That's right there on the lips. We didn't even make it to $2.01. We went right to $2. And now we have formed one of the largest bearish candles we've seen pretty much since back here in the sideways action back on August 27th. That being said, we have a couple more hours till this closes, but the reasons we are bearish at the moment is because we have now officially hit that daily take profit suggestion from Luxalgo. We have ourselves some bearish divergence where not only were we 100% oversold, according to the RSI, the MACD is just about to cross bearish again for the first time since back here on August 27th. But we're very, very close to getting that negative sign. Again, bearish divergence with a lower high in the oscillator, yet a higher high in price. And we have the reversal, the bearish momentum. Take a look here. The exact opposite of what we were just looking like at XRP. This is curving at the moment. More than likely will move to the downside. The money flow and the excessive buyers will move to the downside. This will give us a good sell signal on a very hot asset that needs to cool off. Where are we going? Well, first stop, 135, 130 area where we have a smart trail and an order block in play where we have a breaker block. If that gets lost, though, and the level of liquidity that looks very interesting to me would be a move all the way down here, back down to a golden pocket. Let's take a look here. Let's go with our Fibonacci levels right here. Our golden pocket levels back down here towards $1.05. Dollar level is where there's a lot of liquidations. Makes a lot of sense for a normal, healthy correction on a very, very bullish asset called SUI. Look for that potential pullback. If we get a lot of buy signals at 130, all right, $1 off the table. You know, you want to make sure you're aware of this and you're processing the information in the charts when they get down there. But if there's not a lot of confidence, if there's not a lot of excessive buying and there's no buy signals coming in, more than likely $1 is back on the table and would be a beautiful buy spot for anyone looking to get in on SUI. Good. We're good on time. 3:14. I think I'm going. Give me feedback, guys. Is this kind of faster yet still getting through the exact details of the technical analysis? Is it helpful? Do you prefer me to slow down a little bit? Sometimes we go fast, sometimes we go slow, but I felt like I had a lot I wanted to get through today. Give us feedback on how we're doing, what you want to see from the charts. T-Shroom, do you think I'm going too fast here?
Uh, no, I think you're doing a great job, Tim. I would like to
There we
see
go.
what the feedback from the bros is, but I think you're giving some good levels, especially there for Suey. That's could be an exciting time if you miss the Suey boat to stack some Suey. So.
Check it in on our poll. Again, only 156 votes here from XRP holders, but are you an XRP holder? Yes or no? 70% about are saying no. So I think our audience as a whole, not XRP fans, yet it's still good to know about what is happening over there. So we'll cover it, but of course we'll be a little more lighter with that. Let's check out my last coin I want to take a look at. Stacks is pumping today, but when you take a look at the chart, I just want to prepare people that this is not necessarily something to just go crazy about right now, right? Even though we're pumping, it's mostly because the last couple of days we've had a very healthy correction here, and we're just kind of working to erase some of that. We're still setting, if I were to come to a lower time frame, we're still underneath a pretty strong resistance trend. Let's turn that red. I like red for resistance. And blue for buy. We need to get above that trend line to regain the bullishness, just like Bitcoin, just like a lot of the other coins I've talked to you guys about today. But I just want to make sure people are understanding it's really cool to see the bubble Stacks and say, oh, look at that. Stacks is up 7.7%. But sometimes the charts are the pictures you really want to pay attention to. What does it say about the long term? Let's take a look at our oscillators here on Stacks across the time frames, and we'll address what's going on here. Now, we had a good sell signal here the other day here on Stacks. We had ourselves a red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow. That money flow is starting to come back in. So this is something, if you were in a short on Stacks, you probably want to be a little hesitant with, but it's not necessarily screaming buy either. So let's kind of address and see what it looks like continuing to the downside. The RSI bounced on the 50. That's a positive sign. The MACD, after crossing bearish, is kind of curling over. But if I was a guessing man, I would say, well, we bounced off that smart trail. That's actually a pretty good bounce there. We touched that order block. We could come back down and revisit these levels for sure around 160. But we're going to have to check out the 4-hour chart now to see if we get a good bounce. The daily chart, though, let's get a break above that red line to feel really good about ourselves. Let's check out 4-hour and then see what is happening here. Let's start off just looking at the oscillators. Kind of bullish. This is kind of a weird sideways trajectory right now. No buy signal on the oscillators. After getting a bullish cross on the MACD, we're kind of trending weirdly sideways and volatility here on the MACD. RSI wrestling with the 50. If we get a break above, that's bullish, but we're kind of sitting in a spot, what I would call no man's land as far as the oscillators are concerned. We rejected right here off the 4-hour smart trail, that red cloud. We're bouncing off of this big breaker block. This looks like a coin that's ready to make a big move. It just doesn't necessarily know yet. Does it want to make a move to the downside and go lower? Does it want to make a move to the upside and go higher? We're going to monitor Stacks here for a little bit. But as I said with the others, let's keep an eye here. We're going to go with this breaker block right here. Let's turn this off. If we drop below this 164 mark, opening and closing a 4-hour candle below, I could easily see the price of Stacks coming back down here to the bottom of this one, back down towards 146 at least, if not even lower, towards a longer bullish trend line that we've had in the works since the bear market bottom back in January of 2023. That's what's on the table to the downside. To the upside, I do believe we're going to take a look. Let's see. Let's click this up here. I think I'll move back up into this order block, but also then into this order block where we have a cloud here at 237. $2.38 is going to be the trajectory and the price to watch for a bullish breakout to the upside. I believe this is also the price prediction. I could be wrong. Let's look at this really quickly. We were in a falling channel here for months back since March, and it's crazy. T-shirt, March feels like it just happened like a couple of weeks ago. We're already in October, meaning we are 7 months past these highs that we had in the crypto space. This is, okay, so this is the mark that we've actually been watching for Stacks up here at 237. That's what we're watching with a big order block, lots of liquidity up there. If the bulls start to break out, that's what we're looking for, a long position up there. It is our prediction breakout from this descending channel here on Stacks. So a lot of coins right now, a lot of crypto is in a spot of saying, all right, We're showing flashes at the bottom could be in, but we need to see confirmation of strength before we do anything crazy. For that, it is now time, after looking at the charts, looking at the levels, to break into the news and see how the news is going to affect all these cryptos. But before we do that, make sure to smash that like button. We have over 800 people right now watching across both YouTube and X. 630 of you are watching on YouTube. All you got to do is smash the like button, and one of you will get $50. That's right, 600 likes. Anytime we get it, anytime we get 600 likes while we're live, someone's going to win $50. How many likes are we at here now, T-Shirt? Let's actually do a check-in.
183. Not even breaking 200 yet.
I was thinking you were going to say like 240 or something.
Weak.
Come on, guys. Smash the like button if you have enjoyed the charts and if you're ready for the news. T-Shroom, our news expert, what do we got today?
I'm an expert on the news, Tim. Anything news, I know it. Let's go ahead and get into some data that we got printed this morning. Initial jobless claims came in a little hot. Actual 225K. Previous was 219. And consensus 220K. Forecast 220K. Now, I say hot. That's still bullish for the economy. And in this case, the bad news being good news would be in play. So this is actually just straight up bad news if you want rates to be cut deeper. However, Tim, you and I were chatting before the stream. This is very, very insignificant compared to the behemoth print that we'll be getting tomorrow. That is the non-farm payroll. And the big one, the unemployment rate. We really want to see that unemployment rate playing ball. I think we'll still see cuts regardless of if we get a mild print, right? A meet of consensus, which is the consensus is 4.2, forecast 4.3, and the previous was 4.2. So as long as we come in somewhere around 4.2, then we shouldn't see the market get spooked. But Tim, this is one of those cases where bad news is actually good news for asset holders, folks who are already holding assets. Whereas if this unemployment rate comes in hot, that forces Jerome Powell's hand and he has to cut rates more aggressively, or at least that's how the market will interpret it in the short to mid-term. So that is the economic data print. We'll be getting an even bigger one tomorrow. Tim, any thoughts on this before we get into the Bitcoin news?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's simple. Is it good news? No, it's not good news. It could cause Jerome Powell and the Fed to be faster with interest rate cuts to really corral it. But it's really going to come down. What does unemployment rate say tomorrow? If that's out of control, I think you start to see fear really kind of scoop in and sneak into the markets. I forgot to talk about that. That's a good time to bring that up right here. Bitcoin fear and greed today. Not crazy in the fear, but back in the fear, down at 37. This is actually, we're going to kind of pair this with some things we talk about later, but I want you guys just to be aware of this. Right now, the markets, you right here in chat might be bullish, and I love it if you are. I'm bullish right now. But if you were to kind of poll the general crypto audience right now, people are a little skeptical. They're living in a little bit of fear. That tends historically to be something very positive, very bullish. Same thing with this economic fear. As people look at the job numbers, they're going to be kind of skeptical and thinking, oh, this is a bad sign. Well, if the majority of people, sentiment of the everyday person is negative, historically, markets actually tend to go to the upside. So there's a weird way to twist that and say, T-Shroom, if we get bad news, everyone's going to expect a major dip in the markets, and it could end up being the exact opposite.
The old contrarian trade. Well,
yeah.
As for today, the print was good for those who are looking to be employed. Those are the initial jobless claims. Came in a little hot. So that is going to continue. We'll be looking at that more important.
I know an area where there's a lot of job openings.
Don't
if
say
you're working
it, Tim.
on imports.
Don't say it, Tim. We're going to get to it in a minute. But first, we're going to get into the Bitcoin news. On-chain data shows an increase in Bitcoin outflows from exchanges. All three 30, 50, and 100-day moving averages show this, the Post commented. So this is the chart here. You can see inflows onto exchange are going down. Now, if you're newer to crypto, you're newer to investing, you see this yellow line going down. You say, hey, what off exchange? That seems bad. Well, Tim, why is that actually bullish?
Well, it's just because there's not a lot of crypto left to sell. If you have a lot of crypto, and in this case, talking about Bitcoin, but we'll just any asset, if you have it in a position that's easily sellable, even if no one sells, there's that temptation or that threat that could be moved and turned back into US dollars or other currencies at any given notice. When you see cryptocurrencies, when you see Bitcoin being removed in bulk from exchanges, not only does that mean there's less Bitcoin available for sale, it also means people are making a definitive statement that they do not have any desire to sell whatsoever. They're convinced we still have upward trajectories to go. And that little thing we call the composite man, this idea of manipulation of the markets that messes with the markets and up and down and up and down and up and down. You know what you need to have to manipulate markets? Liquidity. When people remove Bitcoin from their exchanges, they're removing the liquidity. And after that happens, there's only one direction the price can go. That's to the upside.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we've got some bullish news. If that wasn't bullish enough for you, $1.6 trillion money manager Franklin Templeton files for Bitcoin and Ethereum index ETF with the SEC. Now, you might be saying, T-Shroom, this is old. Didn't this happen back in January? That is why I'm bullish, because Franklin Templeton is the anomaly here, and it's an anomaly that is screaming bullish, because if it's still worth it for these big banks to try and cast their net on the Bitcoin ETF fee gathering race, then that is very bullish for Bitcoin, right? We've seen like the ARK Invest and the VanEck and some of the other Bitcoin ETFs really significantly lag compared to Fidelity and BlackRock. The fact that Franklin Templeton is looking at this market and saying, I want to compete, is very bullish. That means that they think that there's going to be more folks getting into the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, Tim, I think my speculation is because they see the writing on the wall with options trading coming for these Bitcoin ETFs, and that is going to be very big when that launches. I believe that's scheduled to launch the Bitcoin options trading on the ETFs before Q4 is over. And it might be actually a little bit, so it might even be before October's over. I should know that date. I don't, but that's going to be big. That's going to be big for liquidity on Bitcoin, and Franklin Templeton's looking like they're trying to get a piece of it. Bullish. Yeah. Let's move into some stories that are not so bullish, that are pushing that fear and greed needle to squarely be in the fear section, and that is this. U.S. crude oil jumps as Biden comments on possible Israel retaliation against Iran. Got some heavy details here, so just bear with me. This sparse capacity is for now preventing runaway prices amid one of the deepest and most pervasive crises in the Middle East in the past 4 decades. This is from Gilberti. I believe that's an investment firm. They told their clients Thursday in a note. The problem, however, is that the world's sparse oil capacity is heavily concentrated in the Middle East, particularly the Gulf states, and could also be at risk if a wider conflict were to break out, according to Gali at TD Securities, Toronto Derivative. So let's go to the Biden quote as well here. President Biden was asked by reporters Thursday morning whether the U.S. would support an Israel strike on Iranian oil facilities. Biden said, "We're discussing that. I think that would be a little anyway." And that's the quote. The president added, "There's nothing going to happen today." So extremely opaque, extremely vague comments here from the leader of the free world. Of course, we would like a better, more decisive kind of speech there from Biden. But ultimately, the fact that they're considering supporting Israel striking oil facilities in Iran, I mean, that's kind of like the opposite of what we want as investors. So this is bearish, right? This is taking it into the bearish direction. And folks, investors are going to be looking at these headlines and saying, if we don't see indications soon of these tensions kind of cooling down, then there might be some de-risking that happens in U.S. equities, which will absolutely rim over to crypto and Bitcoin as well. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing gold continue to pump higher. We're seeing oil moving higher. Oil, I think, hitting 73 today. It's still not in like a danger zone, but it's trending in the negative direction that could bring inflation back at a time when the Fed has made the decision to turn course away from bringing inflation down and towards trying to save the labor side of their dual mandate. So, Tim, all of these complexities are here, and this is why investors get paid. This is why traders get paid, because they have to navigate through all of this and figure it out. And if that's not bad enough, chaos building for shippers as U.S. port strike continues and costs rise, as the East and Gulf Coast port strike hits day 3 on Thursday. There are multiple signs of supply chain stress building. Thousands of shipping containers are potentially dumping at the wrong ports, and increased tracking of diverted vessels. So there's a lot going on in the world, and these are not necessarily the most bullish headlines. There's also no sign that the International Longshoremen Association and United States Maritime Alliances are back at the negotiating table yet in an attempt to work through the significant differences on, these are the issues, wage increases and use of port automation. I also scrolled to the bottom of this article, and I felt that there was a pretty important bit here as well to consider for investors and for traders. And we're scrolling all the way down. It normally takes 1 week for every day a port is closed to clear up congestion. As of now, it will take 3 weeks to clear out the backlog of trade that is waiting offshore to be processed and cleared through the port. So it has already incurred delays, damages, and it is just not, it's not good, Tim. But we're 3 days in. We're not 3 weeks in. That's the good thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the parties are at the table to try to negotiate yet, though. They're still dug in and probably waiting for the Biden administration to go ahead and intervene more significantly. But, Tim, all of this bearishness mounting, what are you doing? Are you buying the dip? Are you fudding out? What's going on in your head?
It's actually funny. Today, I bought something else. I bought toilet paper in bulk. I don't know if you saw this, but there's a shortage right now. Like, I guess Costco's, I saw an article the other day that Costco's are completely out of toilet paper. People who like to buy it in bulk. We luckily at our local Kroger still had the shelves stocked. And Taylor, my wife, because I seem to only do any type of partnership with people named Taylor these days. My wife said, Tim, we have more coming tomorrow on Amazon. I'm like, listen, at this point, it'd be better to have a lot than to have none, right? And I say that it's kind of funny, but it's actually very serious when you start to see these types of things happening. At some point, T-shirt, I'm going to learn, while I'm pretty good with charts, I don't know if I have the greatest track record of calling how events are going to happen. I said the other day, and I'm going to stick to my logical argument here, but I said the other day I didn't think that this was going to last very long. And the reason why, and I've been wrong at this point, we're not really seeing any sides. Like you said, they're not coming to the table to decide it, which to me is just so baffling, because this is just absolutely terrible for Kamala Harris. People still associate her, even though sometimes she says things as if she's a different entity than Joe Biden. People can be dumb, T-shirt. Americans can be dumb. They're not that dumb. Everybody knows she's the vice president to Joe Biden. They have that current administration. They make decisions. This close to the election, this hurting the economy in the way it will, even like what you just said there, the fact that one day backs everything up for 3 weeks, Shroom, we got 4 weeks. 4 weeks until the election. It doesn't matter if you fix this thing in a week from now, that is not going to help people. That is not going to help people for the next 4 weeks. This is something that needs to be fixed right now. And so to me, it baffles me that Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, who still want to have control in the White House, are not doing something with some form of an emergency to fix this, because it is terrible for them. Now, if you're pro Donald Trump, there's a part of you that's almost like, all right, I want to be able to buy goods and services at my store. I'm not going to say hate, but I don't like these longshoremen. But this is good for Donald Trump. Like, this is just one more. Those people sit on the fence who their main thought is, I want a president who will fix the economy. Kamala Harris could fix this right now. She could find a way to do it. She's not. Now, I'm not in that position. I don't know the intricacies. Maybe there's some massive problem that's stopping this from happening. I don't know. All I know is what it looks like, and it's going to look very bad when people it's not just about they can't afford it. At this point now, people are going to go to buy things, and there's not going to be anything available. This is going to affect jobs because when there's no lumber coming in, when there's no shipment of goods and services, businesses will lay off their workers. Construction companies will lay off their workers because there's nothing to do. And business owners are not going to just keep paying their workers to sit in their trucks, to sit and not stock anything in shelves. Jobs are going to go down. And that's going to be atrocious for Kamala Harris. So, again, did I say that I didn't think this was going to last very long a couple of days ago? I did. Looks like I'm wrong once again. But hopefully that makes sense that this decision to not fix it immediately is completely one of the dumbest things I've seen from a political standpoint for Kamala Harris. I would like to still say I expect it to be fixed the next couple of days, but at this point, who freaking knows? And then you combine that with the oil. Everything's going to get more expensive, T-Shroom, because oil prices and energy prices affect everything. Then you combine it with not only is the price of providing it more expensive, there's less of it because the longshoremen aren't unloading it. Well, that means supply goes down. What does that mean? Price of everything shoots up dramatically. This is a colossal failure right now that hopefully is fixed sooner rather than later. And again, I say that as, most people, there's going to be some people who think like this is a good thing for Donald Trump. This is not a good thing for the United States citizens. I mean, we have thousands of people right now in the southeast of our country who are struggling for livelihood, meaning not livelihood to survive in bills, livelihood to survive because they're stranded, they're at loss, they need help, they need supplies. And both of these details, T-Shroom, they affect you and me, but they even worse affect the people who still need to be helped and saved from what's been happening over the last happened this last weekend. So as a whole, just stupid situation, sad situation, and I pray it's resolved quickly for multiple reasons.
Yeah, Kyle Fields jumping in here. Oil prices going up will increase the costs to manufacture plastics, which is in literally everything. Well, oil is the blood of the global economy, right? Without oil and with high oil prices, you get recessions, right? You get inflation going higher. It's not good. So, right now, like I said, oil not in the danger zone quite yet, but Kyle makes a good point. And Tim, it is scary, right? You got the fallout from the hurricane, you've got the port strikes, and you've also got the detentions in the Middle East heating up and potentially trending in a direction where there could be damage done to refineries that refine oil, right? That's just not a good way. It's not a good thing any way you look at it. I think some traders may be even considering, buying some put options on some oil exposure, but I'm not going that far just yet. Now, Tim, we do have some more crypto news here, getting away from global world news and moving into crypto. Brazil's largest crypto exchange, Mercado Bitcoin, partners with Ripple to offer cross-border payments. It would have been a nice day for XRP holders if not for this troubling headline. The SEC files a notice of appeal in the Ripple XRP case. It's like one step forward, 6 steps back for the XRP community. It's been a real slaughter, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's showing any signs of cooling down just yet. Of course, you'd have to guess that with the SEC's track record in crypto, they're going to lose that appeal. Yeah. But it just does delay the XRP, any kind of optimism returning to that community even longer. And unfortunately, the way that the charts are looking these days, XRP may need to get its act together and start moving up, like SUI and some other coins that we've been seeing absolutely blast off.
And do you remember the news we read, I believe, yesterday? Maybe it was the day before. Sometimes the days blend together. But recent executives from the SEC have left.
That was yesterday, yeah.
Are they? Did they leave because of this? Are they fed up with
That's
Gary Gensler and this absolute stupidity? I mean, this is another thing. I told you guys, I probably am going to stop trying to predict how current events are going to go because it makes no freaking sense why they are appealing this. There's actually a chance that this appeal reopening the decision will be bad for the SEC, and it could get the little bit of victories they had could be wiped out. It makes no sense. It makes no sense why this lawsuit is continuing to go on. But again, I guess the only thing we can come back to is it's Gary Gensler. And when Gary Gensler is involved, predict the stupidity. And that was my mistake in this prediction again, T-shirt. I predicted they wouldn't appeal. They did. Why? Because Gary Gensler's a lot dumber than I thought he was. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, we're going to get to the factoid, but Hot Rod said Trump would straighten all this out under his authority. Let us know in the chat. Do you believe that? Is that something you agree with or disagree with? Tim, are you ready for the super chat? Are you ready for the factoid of the day?
Let me minimize my chat because I don't cheat anymore. I don't know. We never called it cheating because we allowed it, but now I don't get to read your guys' guesses on these things. I have to do it by myself. I have a pretty good track record at this point, though. And I think, listen, today's Thursday. I think I've already gotten 2 right this week. Have I gotten 3 right this week or just 2?
I think you've gotten.
I missed 3. 1. I think it's 2. I think I missed 1. Today's number 4 of the week. I think I missed 1, but I got the other 2 right. So we could cement that this weekend we're giving somebody $50 today by me getting this one right. So root for me, guys. Pray for me. Let's see what that question is.
All right, Tim. Today's factoid of the day brought to you all by Decrypted.tax. If you are looking for a crypto tax solution, look no further than the link in the description for Decrypted.tax. Tim, approximately how many shipping containers are estimated to be lost at sea each year? Is it A, 100, B, 500, C, 1,500, or D, 10,000? What is the answer to today's factoid? Tim, everyone wants to know.
Gosh. Okay. I'm just going to be quick because honestly, I have no answer. I'm going to say 1,500. I think 10,000 is too much, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's over 1,000. Let's go 1,500.
He's locking it in. 1,500. Let us know what you guys think in the chat. What's the answer to today's factoid? Is it 1,500? It is. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
I do not give the answers to Tim, but he's been on a streak. Real smart.
All right,
guy.
that's it.
According to the World Shipping Council, an estimated average of around 1,500 shipping containers are lost at sea each year, with the same reports stating a figure closer to 1,300 containers lost annually.
Wow.
What's the difference? Annually versus each year? Come on. That's weird. But it's true.
There's a report written by Gary Gensler.
It is true, yeah. And that's a lot of shipping containers. That's 1,500.
It is.
That could potentially contain like diamonds and like art and like exclusive. I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah. But it's probably toilet paper. It's probably mostly your toilet paper, Tim, that gets lost at the bottom of the ocean.
Probably. Hey, listen. I'm not going to hold you. If in a couple of weeks there's no toilet paper and you don't need anything, just hit me up. I'll mail you some. Because I'm gonna have some bulk. The way I say that, people like maybe are imagining I have now my entire downstairs house is filled with toilet paper. We bought like 2 extra packs. I mean, that's all it was. Like we have enough toilet paper for maybe like a month. It's not like we're prepared for the next 10 years of pooping.
Tim,
let's get into the Q&A.
Tim, no, let's really go deeper here.
Let's go deeper. All right.
No, do you remember during the pandemic? I can't remember what phase of it was, but people were going out and they were buying toilet paper then too.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I mean, do you remember when Publix like had the rules you could only buy 1?
Yeah.
Like you could not check out from
right.
Publix with more than 1 container of
Publix, of course,
toilet paper.
A popular grocery store chain in the southeast of the United States.
Yeah.
Tim, I think we're ready for some buyer Q&A, which reminds me, I will be doing some Q&A directly after the stream. And bros,
yes.
I bought the dip, and I'm going to tell you what I bought, and it is very exciting stuff. Very, very cool.
I was going to say, before we move on, this is a great opportunity. If anyone has a connection with someone from Dude Wipes, I know Dude Wipes throws sponsors out there. What better sponsor for the investing bros than Dude Wipes? I'm just saying.
It's pretty good.
Reach out to us. I mean, it's a good product, too. So,
or their competitors. You know, if
I don't
Dude
know
Wipes cannot get their crap together, then we might accept their competitors as well. I don't know what they would be. Maybe we should start our own.
This topic has gotten the chat very fascinated with my extreme usage of toilet paper, I guess. I don't know. Put a poll out there, Crux. How many rolls of toilet paper does Tim use in 1 week? Surprise me with the different options. All right, let's get some real questions in here, not just toilet paper related questions or Tim's bowel movements. This is still a family show.
Come on, Tim.
Blockchain basement. It's a lot to cover, to be honest, Tim. All right.
Have a
Here
little
we go.
class.
Stoyan, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Stoyan, but Tim, which TradingView level do you recommend buying to use Lux Algo? Good question. So there's a free version of TradingView. When you first sign up and just attach an email to it, you can get TradingView absolutely free and use 3 different indicators. This is why Lux Algo, when you buy the premium version of it, which we highly recommend, that's what you see us use every day, they break it all down into 3 different indicators. There's the signals and overlays, the price action concepts, and then the oscillator matrix. So in theory, you can use Lux Algo with a free version of TradingView. I recommend that people at least get the cheap version that I think takes them up to 5 different levels. I have the one above that. I think I can open up to 8 at a time.
Wow.
Not everyone needs to have that, but because I like to have access to the Bollinger Bands and to volume and to simple moving averages, and I like seeing the MACD and the RSI as well, I want to have more than just 3 options. With that said, though, if you're new and you're beginning, you can definitely get away with having a free version, having Lux Algo, using those 3 indicators, be a part of our trading group to help you out and see things and learn it. But at a certain point, I think that the paid level, that first paid level is like $10 a month. Not going to break the bank. And if it helps give you those extra couple indicators so that you can adequately or really see the charts well, you'll make that back in one trade or maybe like 1 or 2 trades, depending on how much you're trading with. But I recommend getting the paid version, but you can use Lux Algo and get away with a free version. It's just a little more difficult on you. All right, what am I going to vote on myself? I'll say the truth. How many do I use in 1 week? All right, I'll put my answer. My answer is not what the common thought is, because it's ridiculous as you would expect that to be. All right, let's keep going on here. We need to go back to linen diapers. No more TP. All right, this show got away from us very fast. Gosh, you have to know advanced calculus for TP math. It's really.
For everybody watching who's new here, this is the very first time that we have spent more than 5 seconds talking about toilet paper. But in the United States, and maybe in a place that you live, there's definitely runs on these type of commodities. So.
We're even
thing.
getting serious here with the conversation. Kyle Field says the reason toilet paper gets scarce like this is because the plastic fill wrapping is imported. So he's even kind of come to the conversation with some serious analysis here. Gosh, Javi, nobody, the hate monger. I'm gonna not read that out loud on the internet. Just don't feel like that would be good for us to talk about on the show.
Thank you for your $2, though.
But thank you for the $2. And anyone watching live right now, watching the chat, is able to read that for themselves.
Sorry, if you guys are used to people reading your super chats, we almost always do. Every once in a while, though, somebody will say something too inappropriate for the bros.
Dips for buying. Getting in with some good questions here. Not a question, but a request. Okay, so it's not even a question. Request. Link price prediction video as the next one. The 3 different cycles. Cycle 1s are class. What he's referring to is we now have released 2 updated price prediction videos. One of them, Bitcoin. The second one we just released this morning, Ethereum. What I do in these videos, I recommend you guys go watch them. We're going to be putting more out over the next couple of weeks. I address the opportunities for a low price prediction and an early bull market top. Maybe sometime Q1, Q2 of 2025. We address the 4-year cycle, what could happen if the 4-year cycle plays out, or what the price of these assets could be if we went all the way into an extended cycle in 2026. Bitcoin and Ethereum are out. Go check those out. Chainlink is definitely one of the next ones. I don't know if it's the next one on my list, but I can make it that way. But here's what I'll also tell you guys. For anyone who's a part of our trading group, I will release, because obviously I could do the research and the data a lot faster than I can record the videos. I will kind of get ahead of the ball and start producing the actual price predictions early for all of our trading partners, our VIP traders, and then you'll just have to wait for the video to come out for me to explain why my price predictions are the way they are. But I definitely can get you guys some answers on those very, very soon. I don't know if Chainlink is coming out next week, but I would imagine it comes out in October is what I'll tell you. But again, VIP traders, I'll get you guys those answers next couple of days.
And if If you're hearing
Yep.
Tim talk about the VIP trading community, you might be wondering, how can I get in on that action? Look no further than the link in the description here. Under Investing Bros section, the Bro Lux memberships will take you to sign up and get access to our hot VIP trading community. And if you just want to check it out for free, you can here by clicking this link, the one directly under the Investing Bros section. Very, very interesting and exciting times in the Discord. And I will be live doing a Q&A directly after this stream concludes.
Absolutely, yeah. Just so you guys know, I normally do the Q&A right after the stream. I cannot today. T-Stream's filling in for me because I'm going to be on an X Space with Wolf Finance, the Web3 portion of Web Finance here at 4 o'clock. So we'll probably end at like 3:57 or something today, just a little bit early so I can jump into that space. But that's what's happening today. But again, T-Shroom's going to nail it for you guys, give you guys some insights as to what's happening, answer all your questions.
Big time.
Joseph Laposa says, Jasmy TA, please. Let's do some Jasmy TA, please, T-Shroom. Let's go out here to the daily chart. Let's just kind of reflect on what has been happening here. All right, here we go. Here's a case where this is actually kind of surprising to me. We did get bullish confirmation about a breakout here, but more recently we fall into the downside. What do I do with this information? This information, breaking back to this red line, simply goes to show you how important Bitcoin's chart is for altcoins. Even though Jasmy probably should have stopped here around 21 cents or 2.1 cents, excuse me, for hitting support, it fell lower because Bitcoin fell lower, because that's how the markets were reflecting. It probably had some liquidity down here at 1.9 cents on the table. That being said, let's examine what it is looking like right now. You guys can see, of course, we had ourselves a very good sell signal here on the daily chart. Red reversal, negative money flow, bearish momentum, but it's getting back into the camp of looking like it's overextended. So I don't know how much further this dip goes to the downside. For that, we probably, let's start off here. What did we come down to? We came down to a major order block set back here in mid-September. So that's why we dropped as low as we did. Let's check out the 4-hour chart, though, see what it is telling us about momentum here on Jasmy. And then we'll kind of come back out. MACD looks like it wants to cross bullish here. We're flashing oversold marks on the RSI. We're not getting a buy signal just yet on the 4-hour chart, but you do see a lot of low oscillator movement here on Luxalgo. You do see bullish reversals in play, and that money flow is now moving sideways. So I would expect that buy signal probably within the next day or two if it happens. If it doesn't and it cancels out, then we're looking at price is a lot lower. But on this shorter time frame, similar to what I saw on Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on a very bullish short-term formation right here, where we are seeing a lower level of highs, but also a lower level of support. Let's turn it blue. This is a falling wedge pattern. Could send the price back up here, I believe. It put us probably back up here towards 2 cents. If we can get back above that red line, that would be the bullish confirmation we need for Jasmy. But what we're looking at right now, let's back out just a little bit more here. Rejected on that bearish breaker block. That's going to be very important. While we are sitting in some really strong support levels at the moment, the target we're kind of watching here to the upside, we got to get above 2.7 cents. If we do not, then it could be a long sideways action right here. If the bears pick up momentum, if they can drop it below 1.7, it's a pretty long fall all the way down here towards 1.4 cents. Not that I think that's actually going to happen. We're sitting on a lot of support right now, but I also am a little surprised we dropped below the support level here as well. So at this point, Jasmy's kind of sitting in are we seeing some positive signs kind of zone? Yes, but they're not flashing by just yet. So we got to be a little patient, a little hesitant. If you want more exposure to Jasmy and you haven't bought it, this is a beautiful level to buy some more Jasmy. Again, this is one of the best prices we've seen in the last couple of months. That being said, if you're buying it with expectation that rally is going to give you profit within the next week or two, we're not seeing any confirmation for sure that is happening. So make sure you're continuing to do your own research, investing wisely. That is our TA. Javi, we'll look at Flux another day. I'll make a note of Flux. That's one thing we're going to look at in the future. We're going to just answer. Let's do one more question here, T-Shroom. Wrap it out for today. I'll tell you this. We only got to 396 after such a good start to the show. I am willing to make it 500. We will give away $50 if we can get to 500 likes. We need 104 likes in the next 3 minutes, and we'll give away $50. But you got to smash that like button. I'm lowering the bar for one day. Get us down there. Get us to 500 likes. What do we have coming in here? Just a little bit more. I've been accumulating for 3 years now, still waiting for the euphoria. Well, guess what? Lie in my pocket. I know that feels, it feels painful. But unfortunately, 3 years ago was a lot of tops. You are on the precipice, my friend, of getting profit. Because the golden rule really is, to this point, nobody, I think there's a minute there for a little bit during the bottom of the bear market, but very few people who have invested and held Bitcoin for 5 years have been in loss. You're not there yet. Continue to hodl on. It's coming. Again, I think we're months away from new all-time, or I think we're a month or two away from new all-time highs. Just be a little more patient. Higher prices are coming. Joe Shabito. I keep hitting the like button, but it's not making number go up. Must be broken. Keep smashing it. That could help.
420.
Oh yeah. We're getting close. I don't think we're gonna make it though. I don't know. I don't know if people are gonna smash the like that much. B-Ball Golf says October now, Tim. Yes, it is. It is October. It is October 3rd. Got a long month ahead of us. How do you use the free Luxalgo just to check it out? Well, Murad Yasa, what I will tell you, if you want to buy Luxalgo, 2 things you need to be aware of. First of all, use our link. Not just does it pair you with us and you get access to our VIP trading groups, Discord. That's all really cool. You also get 20% off your Luxalgo purchase, right? So that's a big reason to sign up with our link. The other cool thing about Luxalgo is you have 30 days money back guarantee. Now, I don't know how many people are taking advantage of this. Anyone who's purchasing Luxalgo, watching my content on how to use Luxalgo, they're trading with it and making money, and they're keeping it. But if for some reason it's not for you and you don't like it, you have 30 days, no questions asked, to just say, this didn't work for me. I want a refund, and you get it back. So while you technically need to purchase it, there's no free version where you do it without putting money down. You can buy it for a month, see if you like it. If for some reason you don't, your money is going to come back to you guaranteed up to 30 days. Guys, it is 3:57. We're going to have to wrap out today's show. We got to 4:41. You guys, some of you did really, really good. Let's come back tomorrow. I might make the bar a little lower tomorrow. Let's get some likes in here. We're going to give $50 away. We are going to give $50 away tomorrow just for me getting 3 of the factoids of the day right this week. That's a phenomenal thing. I want to make sure people also know tomorrow I will be here for the show. We will put a show out. I might even put a video out tomorrow morning, maybe on Suey, kind of wrap up what's happening with Suey. But after the show, I'm going to be driving down to Florida. I think I told you guys earlier this week, my in-laws' property down in the Panhandle. Luckily, their house did not get destroyed. No vehicles got destroyed, but their yard probably has 6 or 7 trees that fell. So I'm going to be going down yesterday, right after the show, to spend the weekend helping clean up their property. So I'm not going to be a part of the Saturday show. If T-Shroom and Crux want to do a Saturday show, they're welcome, but you guys got to tell them that you want them to do it. If you guys want Crux and T-Shroom to do a Saturday show, you got to let us know in the chat, in the comments. In fact, I want to see the comment section. I want 50. I want 50 comments that you guys want to see Crux and T-Shroom do a Saturday show, and they'll do a Saturday show. But you guys got to go to comment after the video's over. With that said, guys, that's all we have for you in today's show. If you haven't done it already, smash the like and hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. Buy the freaking dip, and we'll see you tomorrow. Adios.